All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let me make sure I'm going live on all my outlets. Give me a moment, you guys. What's up, everybody? Is my camera? I feel like my camera's not. All right, what's going on? Come on in. I'm going to do a quick training for you, give you some value. Excuse my camera if it's not all the way where it needs to be. Let's get it right. All right, what's up? Got some valuable content for you guys today. Let me know if you can hear me first. I never want to start and nobody can hear me. So let me know that. Can you hear me? I know it's been a little while. I'm here. I've been on a couple of times, so check out my lives on YouTube. Hey, matter of fact, if you Breezy Bree, what's going on? Miss you, girl, already. Make sure you follow me on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. That's where even these videos, these lives, because I've done a few already, that's where they get saved. So most of my content is over there. So please don't forget to go over there, subscribe to my page at Dr. Camila Stevenson. Make sure you do that. All right. Make sure you do that, guys. All right. Good. I'm happy you guys can hear me. Listen, I want to share something with you. And I've been thinking about this for quite some time, because I do notice that there is a lot of people who are struggling just with the economy, their finances, wealth building. So I just kind of want to share something to help you understand what you should be doing for 2025. We're into February already. I just told you guys last week when I was on live that, man, we were already in January and we got to set the foundation for what. Miss you so much, Breezy Bree. We have to set the foundation. Thank you, at Dr. Camila Stevenson. All right. We got to set the foundation for where we want to go for this year. And listen, if you've been doing some things wrong, it's just time to do some things very differently. You got to be intentional, right? Life can't just, you can't just like sit in the passenger seat of life as life is going by and think that things are going to change. Listen, if you are at some kind of place where you feel like you need to grow, to expand, to overcome, to enlarge your mentality, your context, your territory, all of it, then that starts today. Because what you want to look like in 2026 when we get here next year is all about the decisions you make today. Right. And a lot of people think they need a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance. You don't need another chance. You need another choice. So there's some choices that have to be made today, right? If you want to expand and build your capacity and build your framework of wealth and life. Listen, the same principles, I talk about health all the time, the same principles, the same limiting beliefs that prevent people from getting well in their body is the same limiting beliefs that allow people to stay stuck financially. I've seen it all too much. All right. So I want to talk about and share my personal testimony and some things that I've learned along the way concerning what I think one of the main reasons people aren't able to expand into wealth. What keeps people, it's okay to be broke. It's okay to not have, but you don't want to stay there. That's what I want to address today, is that a lot of people are staying there, right? And you don't have to stay there. So I want to talk about that, do a quick little training for you. All right. Is that okay? Is that okay? All right. Hope that's okay. All right. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and just start with this. I want to first address one of the root causes of people staying broke, right? Staying broke. Trying to look at the comments also. All right. And let me, before I even move any further, let me say I'm not giving you any financial advice. I am just sharing lessons that I've learned. I want to state that first, right? But I'm going to tell you right from the beginning what it is. The reason why people stay broke is because they prioritize looking rich over being rich. Let me say that again. They prioritize looking rich over being rich. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The cars, the clothes, the jewelry, the vacations. And ain't nothing wrong with none of them. All right. But some people just really don't have it. I be looking at people like, dang, they must got a lot of money coming out here with all these name brand outfits and all of this expensive jewelry and these, expensive purses and stuff, $2,000 purses and stuff. But if you ask them, how many stocks do they have? Have you invested in a business? Do you have any cryptocurrency? Do you have any real estate? What's in your portfolio? Do you have any ETFs? They don't even know what you're talking about. Many people are stuck in cycles, I believe, just because of overspending and emotional spending to feel better. And the problem with this is social media has made it worse because people feel this pressure to keep up, even though they're drowning financially. And you have to start noticing these patterns. I always laugh when Christmas come. I'll be like, man, look at all these people about to spend all their money on Christmas. For what? These kids is expensive too. I got 3 of them. And shoot, I used to be able to shop at the dollar store when they was 2 years old. They didn't even care about what I got them. They just wanted to open up gifts. Now they talking about iPads and iPhones and stuff and, name brand colognes. I'm like, what? Who's supposed to pay for all this? Y'all broke. I'm supposed to pay for this? Ain't nothing wrong with getting y'all kids some stuff for Christmas. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that or for their birthday or celebrations. What I am saying is it's just a lot of people that don't have the money to spend, but they're trying to keep up. They're doing this to take pictures and to take videos and put it on social media. And that's not what it's all about, y'all. Right. And so the first thing I want to say is this isn't a money problem that people have. It's a validation problem. It's trauma. You have to learn how to feel important for other reasons than the fact that you wearing the latest Louis Vuitton purse, right? You need to be secure in knowing, hey, I got some money invested somewhere. And I'll just tell you, even from my background, I've wasted so much money. I have spent it all. I still got downstairs in my basement, all kind of shoes, red bottom shoes, all these shoes that cost $2,500 and all of this other nonsense. I barely even wear them because they hurt my feet now. And I'm wearing more barefoot shoes than anything. But I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on clothes and shoes and jewelry. And so even for me, I come from the church world, right? And so we would have conferences, of course, and we would spend I'd have a $50,000 budget on clothes, shoes, and jewelry. And that's the culture. Is like when you have a conference, you go out, you buy all of these different outfits. Then you got to have one outfit on for the morning session, the day session. Then you got to have another outfit on for the evening session. You got to be all drenched out and you got to change your shoes and change your jewelry and get makeup and all of this other stuff. And it's just that culture. And being a pastor, you can get drawn into that real quick. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with looking good. Trust me. But a lot of people are doing this and wasting money on stuff that will never give them an ROI other than the fact, oh, you look good. You took some pictures. And in church culture, people really do spend all of their money like on outfits, and have nothing left to invest. And we got to change that, y'all. This is just not, it's not cool. We have to change this. You should not have all of this money on you that's trying to impress people and you have nothing saved. You have nothing invested. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. So I understand this all too well. The only thing that I did do right is I save a lot of money. I've been that way since my 20s. I paid off my, $60,000 school loans in my 20s. I didn't have car notes. I would pay my cars off. They would be $30,000 cars. I pay them off. And I would put like a nice little chunk down, maybe 10,000 down just to make sure that I'm not paying any interest. First of all, I'm a negotiator. So it was like, I don't want to pay more than 2% interest on this car. Like I got great credit. There's no reason. So, I would negotiate a very low interest rate. But even then, I didn't want to give you any extra money. And so I'm paying this car off in 10 months. That's just the values that I grew up on, is saving and just having that ability. In the midst of making all of these other mistakes, that I spent money on things that don't mean nothing to me at this point in my life. I don't know if it's maybe because your kids grow up and then you be like, I guess I got to get you a car and I got to pay for money for school, and you just becoming more and more expensive. Like, I got to get all of this stuff for sports, and it just becomes so expensive. You start rethinking your whole strategy. Like, dang, I mean, I got to get myself together. Right. And a lot of people are not together. And one of the quickest ways, y'all, if you want to know the quickest way to try to increase your money, to get more money, one of the quickest ways that you could do right now, like you could do this right now and have more money in your pocket, like right now, is to start spending less. That's the quickest way. Now you got other ways, like start making more money, do things to make more money. But the quickest thing you can do is stop spending as much money. The big part is just that I don't think a lot of people want to make that sacrifice, right? And honestly, y'all listen, because I get a lot of people that's like, well, I don't have the money to invest. Or when I get it, I'll invest when I do it. As I always state, that's not how life works. You give and then it shall be given to you. You invest and then you get the ROI. You don't wait for nothing to come and then you give it. That's backwards living. But there are so many people that claim that they broke. Yeah, I see people with Starbucks drinks in their hands every day. I'm like, dang, you got money for Starbucks? Starbucks not cheap. And you got money to buy Starbucks every day? You're walking around with an iPhone. This iPhone costs $1,500. If you go to the ghetto right now and you go up in people's houses, I guarantee you they got a bunch of alcohol in their house. If you go to the ghetto and you go into what you call poor people's house, they probably smoking weed too. Some of them, not all of them. But there's how you got money for alcohol and weed. Like even teenagers. I'm like, you ain't even got no job. You're not taking care of your kids, but you got weed money. Where you get this from? Listen, don't tell me about no poor. You got $10 to put into an investment, into an ETF fund. So money can be found if you just stop spending it on other things. That's the quickest way to start investing. You don't even have to go out and get another job. All you have to do is say, you know what? This Starbucks that I'm drinking every day, all this fast food, all this eating out, my nails, sacrifice them nails for a couple of months and put that nail money to the side and start learning how to day trade if you want some more money. There's a lot of skills out there that can make you more money. And there's certain ways that you can start to build assets. And I'll go through a few of them that you can, instead of blowing your money off, there's things that you can do to start building assets and gaining wealth. Number one is a business, right? Starting a business and of course, scaling a business is the best way. And of course, you want to reinvest that money back into the business in order to scale or to grow. But most people won't start a business because see, a lot of us have these limiting thoughts in our head, about wealthy people and business. Like, I hear a lot of people say stuff like, well, if you got a business or you're making money, then you need to give your fair share. What is a fair share? Is it what you say a fair share is? If I have a business and I am investing my time, number one, in the business and reinvesting my resources and what I'm making back into the business to be able to hire people, to be able to contract people. I'm creating opportunity. I'm creating jobs. Maybe you're a big business and you're giving 401ks. Maybe you're matching them. Maybe you're giving bonuses. Maybe you're giving to the community. You are helping the schools. There's private schools that they like, hey, we got this science wing because somebody donated $1 million. And then people got the nerve to tell people who have a lot of money that they need to give their fair share. You never know how much wealthy people are giving. I just cannot stand when people sit back and judge wealthy people. And if you think wealthy people don't give their fair share, I'm not saying all of them are right. Come on, y'all. Let's not get it twisted. But if you sit back and think they're bad people, they're scumbags, they rig the system, the wealthy just getting more wealthy and the poor just getting more poor and they need to give their fair share. You know what? If you have those kind of beliefs towards wealthy people, you're never going to be wealthy because your programming is designed in such a way that you will self-sabotage yourself from entering into that pattern because you think of it as a bad pattern. You have to reframe your programming and your mindset around wealth, right? And y'all, it's not bad that wealthy people don't want to pay taxes. It's not. Now, I get that taxes help. Okay. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm telling you, if you had a business and you were making multi-million dollars, why would you want to give your money to the government for them to figure out where your money should go? Don't you want to be in control? This is my money. I worked hard for this. I don't, even though I have to, and yes, I pay taxes, y'all. I don't want to give it to you. I'd rather put it back in my business and create more employment, create more opportunity. I want to put it where I want to put it because it's mine. And I know people are not good people all the time. And so they're not thinking like that. So I know that that's not always the case. But wealthy people are very generous, and you have to know that. Like, yeah, there's some bad ones, but wealthy people are very generous and they just want to be in control of their money. It's not that they don't want to help people all the time. It's just that we're supposed to trust the government. Well, what if you take my money and you go give it to the prisoner people because they want a sex change? I don't want my money going there. Sorry. It's just ridiculous for people to assume that they're always going to trust the government to do the right thing with their money. The government could be taking your money and then making their pockets bigger, like making up stuff. We all see it in politics. We don't know what they're doing. So yes, I'd rather put it back in my business that I work hard for, that I'm up every morning trying to hustle and bustle it out while everybody's sleeping and watching Netflix and doing nothing with their time. I want to control my own money. But nevertheless, it's a little tangent. But business is a great way to invest your money and to scale and to grow. And you will have tax breaks. So instead of getting mad at wealthy people, do what they do. My goodness. All right. Number 2, real estate, which I've gotten into real estate also. And yes, I have businesses. Real estate, long-term rentals, short-term rentals, Airbnb, house flipping. I've done it all. It's beautiful. Depending on what it is that you want to do. It's beautiful to get into real estate. I love real estate and I'll continue to invest in real estate all the days of my life, especially for my children. My children already have homes, for them. So I love that you can put your money and you can invest it and you can save it for wealth building. Again, tax breaks, helping to build generational wealth for your children. Again, that requires you not spending every dime on yourself. There are some sacrifices that need to be made. And that's just the bottom line. Let me look at the comments real quick. Let me see what y'all are saying, because I hope y'all getting with it. I hope y'all getting with it and understand. All right. All right. Cool. I see some of y'all comments. I'm hoping that y'all listening seriously. We just had I got stirred because we just had a crack, like, a real strong dip in the crypto market. It was buying time, baby. I mean, it was on sale while y'all was sitting up watching the Grammy. What was on yesterday? The Grammys. And hey, let's celebrate everybody who had their accomplishments yesterday. I didn't get a chance to see it. I was so like my whole eyesight was on cryptocurrency and how much everything went on sale. It was amazing. For some people, of course, a lot of people lost a lot of money, but that's all right. It's gonna come back. It's gonna balance back. All right, so let's move on. So real estate is a good way, and I can't get into that, but learn about real estate. Number 3, cryptocurrency, as we just talked about. Many don't understand cryptocurrency is honestly the quickest way to really build wealth. It's risky. Don't get me wrong. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just me sharing, what I've learned. But it's risky, but man, it is powerful. I know it's powerful because I have money in cryptocurrency. And when I tell you, you can make one coin, just one coin, turn to 6 figures. I know this, y'all. I'm not telling y'all something I don't know. You can make just one coin. And imagine if you have several of them, by, just investing when it's low, investing on the bottom left. Again, it's risk involved. Don't get me wrong, but it's been very great. You also have whole life insurance cash policy. I also have that. And the way it's designed, whole life cash policy has to be designed right, number one. And it's really used for to borrow against what you've put in. So let's say, for example, you put $200,000 over the years into a whole life cash policy that's growing at 6% interest, right? At least it's not in a savings account. I don't like savings account, even money markets. Even if you just put your money in a USDC coin, it's getting 4 or 5% interest. But if you put it in whole life insurance, it's gaining interest. But you also, it's like your little bank. It's like it's your own bank. You can borrow against how much you put in there, up to a certain percentage. I don't know if it's like 70 or 80%, but let's say you put 200 cash in there, you might be able to borrow, like, let's say 160,000. I'm just rounding off of that money. And no, you don't want to borrow 160,000 and go buy you a new boat, but that could be money that you want to use to invest and then get an ROI, and then you can pay that back. But you're building, and in the midst of that, it's not like a savings account where you take the money out and it's just deducted. It's not deducted. You're leveraging that money and borrowing against it like you would a bank, right? And so your money is still there making interest even when you borrow it. And so that's why it's a good strategy if you do want to have investments. I borrowed it against mine to, help out with real estate deals and stuff like that. And then, of course, you have gold, silver, collectibles. I, got precious metals and things like that, watches, paintings, things that appreciate. Those are alternative wealth storage places that you can, put some of your cash into. But listen, this does not mean that you won't have a cash flow problem. Investors have a huge cash flow problem, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know, because we don't like to keep cash. Like, when you get cash, you're like, man, this cash means nothing. I mean, the government just kept over the last 4 years printing so much cash, it just is depreciating. So who wants to keep a bunch of cash around? You want to put it somewhere. And so investors are kind of addictive to putting their money in something, whether it's the stock market. And again, it can be risky, you can lose. And so investors are always trying to figure out, okay, where's the next dollar coming from? Trust me, like when you do real estate, it's so creative. It's like, okay, I purchased this home. Now, okay, it needs about $80,000 worth of rehab. Where we going to get the cash? Okay, now I got to figure out this. It's like creatively trying to become resourceful. It gets your mind activated. But just because you're an investor and have assets, you don't want to liquidate your assets. I mean, you want to, I don't mind struggling on cash flow. I don't want to liquidate. I don't want to take from my assets. You know what I mean? So unless it's that's the strategy, like doing swing trading, or any some type of day trading or whatever, sniper trading, basically buying options in the stock market and then selling them, or buying what you can buy a call or a put. I can't get into it, but it's basically banking that the stock is going to go up, or banking that the stock is going to go down, depending on what you put on there as far as a call or a put. But that's more of the short term stuff. But again, it's risky or whatever. Those are quick ways to make quick money, and it's very lucrative. It works. You just got to be skillful at it and know how to read charts and candles and stuff, and just not get overly emotional and stuff like that. So don't think that investors, just because you invest, you don't have a cash flow problem. I think a lot of people always have cash flow problems trying to figure out, okay, how they're going to, come up with the cash to function in their lifestyle and to pay, certain bills and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, investors do have cash problems. You see that, even if you listen to big stories, oh, they wanted to purchase a business, or, oh, I wanted to buy a basketball team or whatever. It's always a cash flow problem. They got to go to the bank and borrow money. I mean, it's just cash is just not sitting around. You know what I mean? So, but here's what I want to say too. Like, there is this thing where you have to know this. The rich will get rich. Don't get mad, y'all. The rich will get rich and the poor will get poor. And it's not because there's bad people in the world, but because there's a principle that the Bible talks about. And it's the principle of the talent. And what is this? Let me pull it up. Matthew 24:14-30 explains how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And basically, I can summarize it. You have somebody who have a talent, and they're given a talent, and you got somebody who's given 2 talents, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever. And the one who only got 1 talent is trying to hide and preserve their talent, right? And so it's interesting how the scarcity mindset where people who don't have nothing, they try to hold on to it more. Baby, you ain't got nothing. Like, what is you trying to hold on to? It's time to move out of this. You can't get no lower than this. Like, and then you have other people who willing to take big risks. They're willing to lose it all. But that mindset, that scarcity mindset, and then in verse, I think so then the Bible says that if you do that, what does it say? Let me read this really quickly. Verse 26, it says, he the master answered to him when he because he took his talent and he hid it. And he said, "You wicked and slothful servant." That means it's wicked to go hide your talents and do nothing with it. You're wicked and you're slothful. And you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gathered where I have not scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. That means I'm gonna take from you who got almost nothing. Sorry, that's my light. I'm gonna take from you who have nothing, and I'm gonna give it to somebody who's willing to expand it. And that's how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because wealthy people are willing to do something with their skills, right? Like, and then you have people who have nothing, they want to just hold on to nothing. Listen, even when you give, man, if you can't give 10 cents off a dollar, what makes you think you're gonna give $100,000 when you get 1 million? I don't understand. People, they trip me out with this. And so so they're upset that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. But again, this is a biblical principle, right? This is a biblical principle. So how about we understand that principle and we start to work in the favor of the one who will wind up getting exponential growth and multiplying and building and expanding? Why don't we work with those principles and stop living our lives trying to keep up with the Joneses? Do you understand how much it costs? A lot of money to keep up, right? You can do a little this and that here and there, but to keep up, just like a big house. I mean, everybody want a super huge house. Do you understand how much the maintenance, the taxes, the repairs, the upgrades? Have you not seen how many multimillionaires, how many celebrities, how many athletes have gone broke because they did not understand money? It does not matter how much money somebody puts in your hand. If you can't manage it, then you're going to have the same cycles that happen. And so that's what I want to convict you with that today, because a lot of people don't quite understand that. And we just got to get more educated. And we got to learn what it means. We got to educate ourselves and we got to educate our kids. Like, our kids are growing up in a society and a culture where they are more interested in scrolling on social media and buying the next new pair of Nikes, and they ain't got no money. You ain't got my kids one time got on a plane with me and wanted to sit in first class. First of all, it wasn't enough seats because we had took the entire extended family. So it was like 10 of us. And there wasn't enough seats for everybody. So my kids were in economy plus right behind me. And I don't know which one of them walked past, like, well, why we can't sit in first class? I said, you don't have no first class money. And that's why. You are not entitled. I don't owe you anything. I just told my kids the other day, I said, I don't owe you nothing, right? You got a roof over your head. You better clean this house up. I don't care if it's your birthday. I don't owe you anything. Life owes you nothing. You will not walk around entitled or victimized, waiting on somebody to do something. Nobody gonna do nothing for you just because it's your birthday if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. And so I had to have a good. My kids are amazing, by the way. They are just beautiful kids, but I have a lot of talks with them about money, financial growth, investing, stocks. I was showing my son yesterday how, crypto was crashing and XRP was crashing. And yes, I was losing tens of thousands of dollars, but I didn't care because it was a buy-in for me, because I know that the stock market is going to balance back up. So I didn't care, but he was watching it with me. I was like, whoa, do you see this? Like, it just shot down. Y'all don't understand. I was excited about it, but we need to understand a little bit more about money. That's what I really want to say. And the final takeaway is that your financial future is your choice. It's a choice. It's not a chance. And wealth is not about luck. It's about strategy, discipline, and the right mindset. So if you keep thinking like a spender, you will stay broke. But if you start thinking like an investor, your money will start to work for you. Okay. And you got to also know this: money doesn't disappear, it just moves. It flows to those who know how to manage and multiply it. But the question that you have to ask yourself isn't, can I build wealth? The question is, am I willing to stop making excuses and start making moves? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. It's 2025. We already in month 2. We out of month 1 already. You see how quick time go by? Y'all can't wait another day to start making moves. Stop in your tracks real quick, okay? Because your future is very nigh, whether you know it or not. And time is ticking and going by. And this is an opportunity for you to make a decision. Will you learn how to, first of all, and I'll say this, invest in yourself. That's the greatest invest. There is no, as much as I invest in all of these different places, there is no greater budget that I have in my life. I'm telling you, I have people who can affirm this. There is no greater budget than how much I spend to invest in myself, y'all. I'm talking about, I got a coach for everything. Okay. And I spend lots of money being able to grow me first, because I am an asset. I'm my own brand. And it starts with me. It starts with, especially if you have a business, you got, the CEO has to step up. Like you have to understand leadership. You can't provide it. You can't grow a business outside of growing yourself. So I understand that principle. Investing in yourself should be your greatest budget. Seriously. And that's why people need to pay themselves. Okay. So wherever their investments are going to go, they need to pay themselves first. And so stop spending your money everywhere and on everything. Stop being overly occupied with bills and stuff. We know you got to pay bills and stuff, but let's start decreasing some of those other things. And let's not feel good about that stuff. That stuff means nothing. It means nothing, y'all. Let's start learning about money and let's grow to become multi-millionaires in 2025. Okay. It's not impossible. I promise you. You know how many testimonies and stories there are out there. All you have to do is do what nobody else is doing, and you will have what nobody else has. Okay. All right. So I always want to do a call to action, because a lot of people ask me this after. I generally do reversing, chronic problems. And again, what I learned is that the same people who have problems with their health are the same people who have problems with money, because of this scarcity mindset and limiting beliefs. And so I do want to address you if you are a person who's like, I do feel out of control. I feel like uh I'm out of control with my health, my finances, my future. And maybe you just don't know where to start. Maybe you just don't know. You're super confused. You've tried things before and it's failed. You feel overwhelmed. You feel exhausted. You feel like everything is just not working and you want to make different choices. I want to give you an opportunity. This is not for everybody. I always say that when I do a call to action. This is not for everybody. This is for people who are stuck, overwhelmed, out of control, and they are ready to get in control, but they are also ready to do something about it. No more living like this. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm over it. This is for the birds. This is not for me. I have to walk in purpose. I have to do what God called me to do. You're not going to do it broke. You're not going to do it sick. So, if this is you, I do have an opportunity for you to, here, I'll put it on the screen real quick. Fill out an application. I only go by applications. Everybody's not accepted. I always say that. All right. So, but you can go to www.camilacalendar.com and you can fill out an application and see if you're qualified, just for a consultation, a free consultation, a one-on-one to gauge where you are, where you want to be. This is a consultation to see how we can work together to get you past the place of feeling stuck, of not knowing what to do, where to go, the how-tos, getting you out of that place of overwhelm, like you're living off of one wing. Your other wing is broke. Something's broke. Every time you try to move forward, you can't. and you want to get back in control again. You feel like there's something more and you want to get back in control again. You can visit www.camillacallender.com. And if you are not accepted, I will reach out to you. So if I don't reach out to you, because I notice that can be, some people are like, I didn't know if I was qualified or whatever. If I don't reach out to you, you're fine. Just make sure you fill out the application, because I will not be on the call with you if you don't fill out the application. I have to look over the application first and see if you're qualified, and kind of do some research. I do research. All right. So I hope that this blessed you and encouraged you and inspired you to do something different. I mean, for this to be the last day of you living in a place where you don't feel like you know what to do and where to go. All right, let me know if this resonated, or if you have any questions. I am back now. I could not really look at the Instagram because I'm on StreamYard, and StreamYard does not show the comments for Instagram. So I had to come back to Instagram and kind of look at the comments. Facebook, it gives some of the comments for Facebook and YouTube. Also, do not forget, follow me on YouTube, because I'm not always going to go through StreamYard and go through Instagram and Facebook. Some things I'm just going to do on YouTube. That is my platform of the year. I'm doing more longer content there, masterminds, trainings, videos. I'm dropping them every week, sometimes every day. So make sure you follow me at Dr. Camilla Stevenson. Yeah, I have two on. Don't go to Camilla Stevenson. That's my personal page. Go to at Dr. Camilla Stevenson. You'll see me there, and you'll see some podcasts that I have, videos, a bunch of information there. All right. I'm happy you learned a lot. Any questions? Just checking. I'm going to get out of here in a minute. Oh, I see a few things. Starting business and scaling the business. Yes. All right. I was just making sure I don't have any questions here. First, just wanted to. Jimmy, hey, look at you. I'm investment licensed and manage money for. Oh, yes. Come on now. We need more like you. All right. Help our people. How do you get funded? For real estate. I mean, there's a lot of different types of loans you can get funded. There's a lot of different ways. I mean, you can go to banks and ask. You can go to private lenders. There's a lot of private lenders out there that's willing to give you money for businesses, ventures, real estate. It's really all about the community and the culture that you have and the access that you have. But there are tons, even in your locations and stuff. If you look it up, there's tons of people who give private investors who are ready to give to businesses. They want to give, actually, for a lot of different reasons. What do you use to invest in crypto? Money, cash. I invest my money. I don't want cash. I don't want a lot of cash. Cash is depreciating. I don't even think we're going to have paper. We're going to wake up one day and it's going to be digital. Our money is going to be digital. Like, they're printing so many dollars that it means nothing. Like, you can blow your nose with a dollar bill. Like, cash means, it's good to have some on hand, for emergency and stuff like that. But outside of that, as an investor, investors don't like to keep a lot of cash. It depreciates. You keep $1, it's going to be down to 80 cents before the sunrise. Yeah, tax write-offs. Yes, if you want tax write-offs and you have a lot of taxes, business, write-offs, real estate, there's ways to do it. But don't want to avoid taxes just because you want to keep your money. That's not the principle. The principle is that, a lot of people don't trust, giving all their money to tax. They want to save it. So that's why a lot of people dump it. Like, I dump my money into charity. Like, my kids have charity accounts that also have interest rates, but they have charity accounts where they cannot use this money for anything but charity. Right. So, hi, Dar Rich. This is your first time on. I hope you enjoyed it. But they have charity accounts where they can't spend anything but charity. But it's like the money is accumulating based off of interest. And I just put a little bit more each year, and it's a tax write-off, because I would honestly rather know where I'm putting my money. Like I would. I'm sorry. But yes, I do pay taxes and I don't have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't want the government taking hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. I don't know what they're doing with it. I just don't trust the government. It's all about trust, y'all. I just don't trust them. Okay. I don't fully trust them. All right. So spend less, get educated, start looking at the market, come up with, I mean, this can feel a little bit overwhelming. Again, book a call with me if you're someone who wants to move forward, wants to know what that looks like. Um, if you are struggling, because again, I am here to help you overcome the limiting beliefs and things that prevent you from moving forward. Like a lot of people I work with, of course, is because their health is in the way. Their health, their energy, they're dealing with chronic disease. It's in the way of them moving forward. Like I don't want to just get people healed just to say, oh, you got healed, you reverse your chronic disease. It's because really you have a purpose and you're limited and your experience of life and what you're supposed to be doing with your life if you are bound by sickness and disease. All right. So when you I'm kind of not understanding your question, Gladly, where to go for funding. There's a lot of different places to go for funding. You can check with banks. You can go through private lending. And then when you say for funding for what, like for a real estate project, for yeah, it just depends. Some people, again, you have for funding, I've gone to my whole life cash policy for funding. That's my own bank. So there's a lot of places. Some people do HELOC loans, against their house. They refinance sometimes for certain projects, certain investment projects. I'm not saying to do that. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what some people do. There's a lot of different creative ways to get money. It's much easier, honestly, to get funded through a commercial. Let me just say this so I can teach y'all this real quick. There's a lot of any particular person on social media who you watch to help learn about. Oh, there's a lot of crypto. Karina, DM me, and I'll send you some stuff. Believe it or not, I know this may sound overwhelming, but commercial real estate is easier than single family home real estate. And the reason why, and I'll say this just so y'all can learn this real quick. The reason why is because when you're in just a single home real estate, you are locked into how much that house can be worth, based off of comps and just other things in the community, just based off a lot of different things, right? When you do commercial real estate, you're not locked in. There is what you call creative real estate, where you can boost the value of that property just by getting tenants to move in and signing contracts with them. If you get a tenant to commit to, you get 2 or 3 tenants in there to commit to 5 years, you just boost the value depending on how much they're going to bring in. You're not locked in. It's not about, oh, how much is this commercial building work down the street, or how much is that commercial building. Like, you're not locked in. There's creative ways to change the vision of that building. If you have a vision for that building and you present it to the bank and say, like, you could have bought the building for like $500,000, you could boost the value to $3 million in a month by having a vision for it, getting tenants already to commit to, get it notarized or whatever, that they'll commit to so many years or whatever. Because if somebody looking to rent out for a business, they want the security of being there long term. They don't want no year to year like a person living in a house. And you can go to the banks and ask them for money. Look, this building is worth $3 million, and you can get it's easier to get money off of commercial real estate. It really is. And I've learned this from billionaires, being coached by billionaires like them, talking through it. Like, I've done a little bit of both. I don't have commercial real estate, but I will go into it. But it is definitely much easier if you do personal real estate or like personal homes. You know what I mean? Family real estate. Commercial real estate is easier. It really is, because you're not locked in. All right. I hope that this bless you. I'm gonna get on off and listen to the replay again. Go over to @Dr. Camilla Stevenson on YouTube to follow me, turn on your notifications, like my videos, help the algorithm over there. I'm building up that page. I would really, really appreciate it. I will continue to do lives, continue to pour into you, continue to add value. Again, if you're someone who is looking for help in what we talked about, as far as limiting beliefs, feeling stuck, overwhelmed, don't know what to do, need just a strategy and a framework for healing in your mind, body, and soul, then make sure that you visit www.camilacalendar.com. All right, peace out. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day.